Hello class, good morning. Our lesson for today is understanding integers. Let's start with counting numbers. So counting numbers are 1, 2, 3, and 4, or what we call natural numbers. So using set notation, just like this one, it is read as the set of counting numbers and so on. Okay, using set notation, this as read you will read this as the set of counting numbers from 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so on. And that is counting numbers. So from 1 up to the end, or so on. Next is whole numbers. The only difference of whole numbers to counting numbers is if you put together 0 on the set of counting numbers, then it would be the whole number. So just like this one, we just add 0 to the set of counting numbers, and that is what we call whole numbers. And we can write this as 0 to so on. So that is whole numbers. While negative numbers are the opposite of counting numbers. So if our counting numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, our negative number is negative 1, 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, and negative 7. So these are the digits on the left side of the 0. 0 is not a negative. 0 is either positive or negative. So when you ask about the negative numbers, you will start from negative 1, and negative number is the opposite of counting numbers. So the opposite of 1 is negative 1, the opposite of 2 is negative 2, the opposite of 3 is negative 4. The set of integers, and we use I for the integers, is the union U of the set of whole numbers, which is the W, and the opposite of the set of counting numbers, which is negative N, or what we call the negative integers. Integers is equal to whole numbers union negative integers. So these are the set of whole numbers union and set of negative integers. So if we combine the set of whole numbers and negative integers, we get the set of integers. So this is what we call set of integers. The set of integers can be graphed on a number line, and integers that are greater than 0 are what we call positive number, or the numbers on the right side of 0. While and it can be written as with positive sign, but mostly we do not use positive sign anymore. Next is integers that are less than 0 are what we call negative integers. So the integers to the left of zeros are what we call negative integers, or integers less than 0. So 0 is the origin, and 0 is neither negative nor positive. I will repeat. The digits greater, or numbers greater than 0, are what we call positive integers, and the numbers less than 0 are what we call negative integers. So you can see arrows here. These two arrows denotes that there are endless number of positive and negative numbers. The coldest temperature on Earth is 89.2 Celsius below zero. How will you represent it in integer? Since there is a clue that the temperature is below zero, then we can use the negative integer to represent the temperature. So, negative 89.2 degree Celsius. So, this is how we represent it in integer, negative 89.2 degrees Celsius, since this is below zero. Another example, list all the positive integers between negative 5 and negative 8. So if this is the question, you can use a number line. So I draw a number line here with the origin 0. This is the positive numbers, and this is the positive integers and negative integers. The question is list of positive integers between negative 5 and 8. So what are the positive integers between negative 5 and 8? So between negative 5, so this is negative 5 and this is 8. So in between them, the positive numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so these are the list of positive integers between negative 5 and negative 5 and 8. Since the question is between, that's why we do not include 8. Next, list of all negative numbers from negative 4 to 5. So, see the difference from and between. So, from negative 4 to 5, it means we will start counting the negative integers from negative 4. So, from negative 4 to 5, so here to here, how many or what are the negative integers? Negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 1. But if the question is list all the negative or list all the negative integers between negative 4 to negative 5, you will only write negative 3, 2, and 1. But since the question is from, you will include negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 1. Next is, let's proceed to absolute value of an integer. The absolute value of an integer represents the distance of the integer from the origin or 0. So always when they ask for the distance of the integer to the origin, the answer is always positive. Always get the absolute value. For example, the absolute value of 3. So this 2 bar represents absolute. So it means that what is the distance of 3 to the origin? So let's count from 0 to 3. 1, 2, 3. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. Next, absolute value of negative 4. So the distance of negative 4 to 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the absolute value of negative 4 is 4, because its distance from 0 is 4 units. Next, for 3, the absolute value of 3 is 3, because the distance of 3 from 0 is 3 units. 1, 2, 3. Any integer a is less than integer b if a is to the left of b. So we can write it as a less than b. Any integer b greater than integer a if b is to the right of a in the number line, then b is greater than a. For example, -3, compare -3 and -1. Since -3 is on the left side of -1, then we can say that -3 is less than 1. Or by simply looking at the number line, -3 is less than 0 and 0. So the integers on the left side of 0 are negative and the integers on the left side of 0 are positive. Since -3 is on the left side of 0 and +1 is on the right side of 0, then we can say that -3 is less than 1. Next, -4 and 5. So since -4 is on the left side of -5, then we can say that -4 is less than 5. And the last one is -1 and -4. So here is -1 and this is -4. Since -1 is on the right side of -4, then we can say that -1 is greater than -4. Or by simply looking at this one, since -1 is nearer to 0, then we can say that -1 is greater than -4, because a negative integer, if a negative integer is nearer to 0, it means that its value is greater than those negative integer farther from 0. So let's try to arrange these integers into ascending order. Ascending. So the integers are -3, -4, -1, 1, and 5. Let's arrange it into ascending order or from least to greatest. So by looking at this number line, the least number is -4. Then next is -3, -1, 1, then 5. So this is the arrangement from ascending order. If descending, then 5, 1, -1, -3, and -4. So another example, arrange the integers -5, 0, -2, 3, and 1 from greatest to least. So we will use the number line to arrange these integers. So 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. After we draw a number line, then let's plot all the integers. So -5, 0, -2, 3, and 1. So after plotting the integer, and this is the time for us to arrange it from greatest to least. If the question is from greatest to least, you should always start from the right side or from this side to left. Okay, if the question is greatest to least, you should start from right to left. So from right to left, negative. So what's the first integer? 3, 1, 0, negative 2, negative 5. So this is the arrangement of negative 5, 0, negative 2, 3, and 1 from greatest to least. So the digit or the number with the highest value is 3, and the digit with the lowest value is negative 5. For your activity, answer the following. Explore on page 186, practice B and C on page 187. Take a photo of your answer and send it via private message.